Good morning, Mr. Chaudri.
Morning.
I think you don't need to be introduced. Please, can you remind ex-Popa students at yourself and current role and activities in the school foundation or program?
I became the headmaster of this institution in 1966 when there was no school, no land, no teachers, no textbooks and nothing except 3 Indians who wanted this idea to build a school. From 1966 we had a very difficult task of raising money, of making the plans for building a new school, of employing teachers, of getting hold of the pupils, and you started doing that work with the help of the community. That is, the community means the Asians. In the Asians come the Arabs, the Africans, and all others who came to help us. We started work 1966. We continued working, and in 1969 we were able to put up a school for at least 2 streams. In 1966 we had started at Makakwani Secondary School, and in 1969 we moved to the present buildings. And President Julius Nyerere on 20th of October 1969 came to open the first and the only private school in Tanzania. And after that one, there was no going back. We continued working, raising money, building, organizing ourselves, and we became a full-fledged school by 1970s. We had 6 streams from Form 1 to Form 6 and destinations, and we continued working that way until 2004, when I was no more the headmaster. The school made a good progress, made a good name. We produced very good and capable pupils. The pupils are everywhere in the world, and we are proud to say that our pupils always respect us for whatever we have done for them. And we are proud that we produced that generation of able-bodied, disciplined boys and girls, very good academically and always respectful to their parents. We produced educated people rather than literate people. They were educated in different aspects because we had everything in the school: the playgrounds, the library, the laboratories, and everything. We had everything. In the early years, from up to 1969, it was the Cambridge Overseas Certificate. From 69, after 1969, it became Tanzanian certificate, but the standards remained the same. Our students continued working and producing good results.
Indeed, we are all honored by this, and we are all proud of ourselves to be Popians. And I think this institution, as you have just mentioned, has encountered many challenges and achievements. If you can, in a very brief, just share with us those achievements and challenges.
Our challenges were, we had the secondary school, but we didn't have a primary. So that our first challenge came to start a primary school, and in 1982 we started a primary school. Immediately after, our other challenge came that our children finished Form 4, but they had nowhere to go. Therefore, we started with the high school. And after starting the high school, we were proud that our pupils, and we started high school in science subjects, PCB and PCM. And we are very proud that our students who learnt in PCB and PCM, they are the real founders of science education in this area.
So, I mean, as you have said, you have produced many students in all those years. And is there still any link? I mean, what tools are there just to make sure these links are there, are maintained, sustained with ex-Popians, as you just titled them?
I would say our students remain in contact, but there is no official organization which can keep them in contact with us. And we lack that one, and we have to make that one so that our old Popians become part and parcel of the school, to raise the standard of the school, to raise the activities of the school, to raise funds for the school for those projects which we are unable to complete.
So, Mr. Chaudri, I mean, so many people or so many students have commented about the current poor or substandard quality of education in Popa. What are your views on this?
Actually, to tell you, to be a good educator, you have to remain in contact with the pupils all the time, their parents all the time, and you have to look into the problems and difficulties. But somehow it has happened from 2004, the heads or the others who are running the institution somehow found it difficult to remain in contact with the pupils, with the parents, and they failed to carry on with the standards we had already achieved. Because what happened in 2002, my son Naresh fell very sick in Ireland, and when he fell very sick in Ireland, I took leave and went there to see him. Somehow he recovered. I came back. In 2003, he again had an attack of cancer which he had before, stomach cancer. He died, and when after his death I came back here, then I found I was no more the headmaster of the school. Mr. Awad was brought in to be the headmaster, and I was never given any reason why they removed me. I was never told whether I'll be paid anything, my benefits or anything. I was never informed even. Actually, the job was advertised in Tanzania. I was sitting in Ireland, and I never knew that when I reach after the death of my son, I will not be the headmaster. It was a great shock to me that I am no more the headmaster of that institution for which I had served 38 years, with my dedication, with my honesty, with all the work which I could do, whether it was financial, or it was academic, or it was developing relations with the parents and others. For 38 years I remained, but I was no one there when I arrived. I would just say that is the bench where I sat for 6 months without the job. There was a big tree there. There was a big tree there. That tree was a arbanus, and which I used to sit underneath. I would come here in the morning. They said you would get the same salary. I was told by the management that I would get the same salary, but we will later on find out what job to give you. Actually, I had from the very beginning worked in my double capacity. I was the headmaster of this institution and I was the administrator for the society which was running this school. Therefore, my second job, which was the administrator of the school, they said you would do that job only for the school. But where I had worked all the time, sometimes up to 18 hours for the school, I had no job actually. There was no job at all. I would just come in the morning, see the headmaster here, talk to him, go to the primary school, see the headmaster there, talk to him. Any problem, any difficulty, they had no problem, they had no difficulty, schools were running. Whether they were running this way, I was not allowed to interfere in anything. So I would come in the morning, sit here, go back home. After that time they realized that this man should be brought in one capacity or another. And they told me, now you are the administrator, you will run this school. And therefore in 2000 and July onwards, I was brought officially into that capacity. They continued paying me the same salary. They allowed me to continue to stay in the same house and they continued my privileges, whatever were there. And I am thankful to the society for continuing with my privileges. They were doing all that one. But they lacked one thing. Whatever benefits the old management had agreed to give me, they failed to give. In the beginning, during the time of Mr. Somaya, they said, we don't have the money, we will raise the money and give you. Months passed, years passed, this was 1998. They retired me in 1998 at the age of 60. And they had agreed at the age of 60 that I will get these following benefits after my retirement. But I'm sorry to say, till today, nothing is given. Whenever I questioned the new management, I requested the new management, I asked them after Sumayya's death, the new management took over, I requested them, they gave one answer, that Mr. Sumayya had promised in his individual capacity and not as the chairman of the Tanga Secondary Education Society. I have remained quiet, nothing happened. No money is given, even today.
It's a very, very shocking
Yes.
news to all of us, and we are also using this opportunity, although our brother Nair has passed away. I mean, we are also trying to, give you sort of like encouragement to what you have gone through during his illness, and we are also, shocked to know or to hear about the sad story. I mean, let's all be frank that whenever you mention the word Popatlal, the second thing which comes is Mr. Chaudri or otherwise. When you say Mr. Chaudri, then you will always mention the Popatlal Secondary School. So now, this is an issue, and I think we all want to see this school stand on its feet and comes back in terms of its standard and its reputation, because you've got many students, who are very, very proud of what they have achieved, and I think now we need to agree, what is the way forward, and see that we all get in touch to each other and try to help and even contribute towards the success of this Center of Excellence. I will call it Center of Excellence institution, and let's put our efforts in making sure that this school, as I said, comes back to where it used to be in 1970s all the way to early 1980s, and even in the early 1990s. Yeah.
So Chaudri, just if I might pose a quick question. It's indeed, just to repeat, that it's a sad story to all of us, and we as a community of ex-Popa student, we didn't have this level of details that you have shared with us today.
Yeah.
And
But the worst has not happened yet. Worst which I am going to tell you, this one was nothing for me, and I was greatly supported by my wife and my son Shelly in Nairobi.
Who happened to be my classmate.
Who happened to be your classmate,
Yeah.
and he was the one, he says, money everyone has, don't worry about the money. If you are not given, we want you to just survive, live, and don't worry about anything. We are there to help you. I was greatly supported by my wife. She said, doesn't matter, we'll eat. If we are not eating 2 times, we'll eat 1 time. But we will not just get broken, and we survive with that. But worst which has happened afterwards was more shocking than what happened when they removed me as headmaster. That I don't mind, because I had retired in 1998. What they should have done is, okay, there you have become old, we want a new person, please train him and take him. But not telling me in Ireland